You're watching Camnet News. My name is Sharon Kalimbola. Thank you so much for joining us. We look at the top stories on our desk. Mount MAKULU residents in Chilanga district describe their houses as death traps. Zambia's 4 years record of 62,798 divorce cases worry a local NGO. And ZRA intercepts smuggled goods worth over 1.4 million kwacha. In international news, Chile uses copper to fight coronavirus. And in sports news, Man City beats Sheffield United by 1-0. Join me shortly for the details.
2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house. For hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television for non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage. Zambia needs Camnet television for national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia. Watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV, and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us. The details. Occupants of government houses in Mount MAKULU compound of Chilanga district have bemoaned the state of the houses, which they've described as a ticking time bomb. The residents have told Camnet TV that they are living in fear owing to the fact that the structures of the houses are obsolete and can collapse at any moment. And Mount MAKULU Housing Community Chairperson Dixon Chibalamuna says it is difficult for sitting tenants to renovate the houses which do not belong to them. Mr. Chibalamuna has since appealed to President Edgar Lungu to facilitate for the sale of the houses to sitting tenants and safeguard the lives of the affected families. Prudence Chota brought us this report.
These are the residents of Mount MAKULU area in Chilanga district living in dilapidated houses which they have described as a death trap. The houses, which are government owned under the Ministry of Agriculture, have clearly lived their time, and now the occupants are calling on government to sell the houses to sit-in tenants so they can be renovated to habitable standards. The residents who spoke to Camnet TV have since turned to President Edgar Lungu for intervention, as all avenues to buy the houses through the Ministry of Agriculture have failed.
Yes, Zaria has accommodated us. Here, there are so many ministries that Zaria has accommodated. But the fact is, there's health, there's defense, there's Ministry of Education, and other ministries. But the houses are not maintained by Zaria. We spent a lot of money trying to maintain these houses. So we're appealing to our President Edgar Chagwalu, please, to intervene into this matter so that we can have these houses, we can buy them as sitting tenants, please.
We are appealing to His Excellency, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, to sincerely recognize the people of Mount MAKULU to dispose these houses as they cannot be maintained, as we have seen.
Tafutika vima nyumba si vima nyumba hivi. Muzakapeza winango aferamo. Tigulise ninanga wayi kwinango kumugulisa. Mount tinawala kwa chani say. And
Mount MAKULU Housing Community Chairperson Dixon Chibalamuna is worried that the situation, if left unchecked, might lead to many losses of lives, as many of the houses have started falling while others have serious cracks.
Then here, there was a room for the boys. Here are the iron sheets. This structure here fell whilst kids were sleeping inside in here. I stand with the committee to represent 348 households. As you have seen, these houses are beyond repair, most of them. You cannot even talk about maintenance now, because some of them are falling off on their own. So it is in that vein that we are here to appeal before His Excellency the President, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, sir, The people of Mount Makulu have suffered with this condition. We also want to experience that better life as the civil servants here. Our lives here, the living conditions are bad, as you've seen. Our houses are bad. Sir, Your Excellency, we appeal that you consider the people of Mount Makulu to buy these houses as sitting tenants. We have spent a lot of money on maintenance and we cannot claim from anywhere.
Funny as it may seem, pets such as dogs are now entering in and out of these houses still occupied by humans but partly broken.
This structure which is here, you can see the hole which is there. Last time even when we came here, we didn't find any people when we wanted something. We found a dog. A dog went through that big hole. These houses are dilapidated. They were built between the period of 1948 to 1956 up to date. They are dilapidated, outdated, they are tired. Hence, they appeal to our president so that these structures can be sold to the sitting tenants so that people can be able to build or to do renovation of these places. He's a humble man. Humbleness, you cannot take humbleness to someone, whether people like it or not. He has even done it even across the country, even the people in Dundumwezi. So, even here, he can still do it because of his humbleness and what he had shown through across the country.
Efforts to get a comment from Area Member of Parliament Maria Langa and Agriculture Permanent Secretary Sangowayo's Yambo proved futile by broadcast time as their phones went unanswered. Prudence Chota for Camnet TV News.
The Zambia Revenue Authority has intercepted 2 trucks carrying second-hand clothing, commonly known as salaula, worth over 1.4 million kwacha. The consignment are said to be smuggled into the country using fake documentation. ZRA Corporate Communications Manager Topsis Kalinda says alleged ZRA officers intercepted the consignment between Kapiri and Mukoshi. Mr. Kalinda says investigations have revealed that this is a pure case of outright smuggling contrary to the Customs and Excise Act, Cap 322 of the laws of Zambia. Details on this.
Smuggling of goods into the country has continued to rob the nation of the much-needed resources for the development of the economy. And if the behavior is left unchecked, Zambia will continue to receive substandard products which none will be held accountable for, while huge chunks of monies will continue to be lost. In this regard, Zambia Revenue Authority has unleashed a scam worth 14 million kwacha in Kapirimponshi district. Zambia Revenue Authority Public Relations Officer Topsis Kalinda has confirmed this development.
I wish to announce to the nation that we had a successful operation in Kapiri where we intercepted 2 trucks worth about 1.4 million kwacha in terms of value for the goods. These trucks came into the country through the Nakonde route, and we can confirm that all the documents that were presented were actually forged documents. This is a case of outright smuggling, and which contravenes the Customs and Excise Act, and this kind of behavior will not be tolerated.
Mr. Skalinda has also warned all smugglers of steam actions once apprehended.
We've made it very clear, smuggle at your own peril, and you will meet us. As an authority, we've made it clear that once you smuggle the goods, we will not only seize the goods, but we will also seize the vessel. Then we will come after you, the owner of the goods and the person who assisted in smuggling these goods, and make sure that we bring you to book and have you prosecuted. This is what is going to happen on these trucks.
With the outbreak of COVID-19, many sectors of the economy have been brought to its knees, thereby affecting the growth of many economic activities. One of the affected entities is the Zambia Revenue Authority that has clearly stated that revenue collection is a challenge amidst the COVID-19 outbreak. In this regard, the authority has intensified its effort to curb smuggling and increase revenue collection. Prudence Chota for Camnet TV News.
MH Foundation Limited Director Mulambo Haimbe has charged that it is important that menstrual awareness continues to be provided for girls, especially in school environments. Speaking during the signing ceremony of a memorandum of understanding with Human Street Health Aid Zambia in Lusaka, Mr. Haimbe noted that girls have continued being vulnerable in society on matters of menstrual hygiene. Mr. Haimbe's foundation and the Human Street Health Zambia have since joined hands with the aim of reaching out at least 3,000 girls in schools countrywide.
Menstruation, an essential and unavoidable change that occurs in girls during their adolescent years. However, its offset comes with different challenges that affects the well-being of girls, especially when it comes to managing their menstruation in a school environment. Several non-government organizations keep coming on board to help address this situation. Mulambo Haimbe Foundation Limited and Human Street Health Aid Zambia are among some organizations that have come on board to help support girls on menstrual hygiene awareness. The two organizations joined hands by signing a memorandum of understanding with a view of reaching out to at least 3,000 girls in schools not only in Lusaka but throughout the country. The purpose of the project is to continue addressing the plight and providing awareness and support on menstrual hygiene.
We are able to support the personal hygiene aspects of the girl child in the manner that has been proposed and any other manner that our cooperating partners will be willing to assist. We are empowering not just the particular individuals but the future generations, and we have to ensure that people are not kept away from activities, that lifestyle activities, simply because of being in a position where their personal hygiene is at stake.
Some girls in both rural and urban areas continue to face challenges when it comes to adequately managing their menstruation while in schools. Hence, the need to create a friendly environment for girls in schools.
Because we understand that the power of menstruation and the power of education. Director, you must note that most people actually fail out of school or because of not having sanitary pads. So menstruation should not be a barrier to education. This is why we want to focus on the girl child, because we know that most of the girls are out there in the streets. Some of them, it's not because of money, it's just because they lack a sanitary pad. So come 2040, as our vision as an organization is to make sure that we end menstrual poverty and we make sure we try to bridge the gap between the boys and girls in society. So through this partnership, I believe that we together now will probably lessen the burden and make Zambia a better place.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Operation Young Vote, OIV Executive Director Guest Nyarinda says the call by the Electoral Commission of Zambia that all political parties be innovative during campaigns and avoid meeting people in masses should be applied to all political parties, including the ruling party. Mr. Nyarinda explains that it's sad to note that despite guidelines given by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the ruling party continues to abrogate the law by meeting people in large numbers, disregarding the health guidelines. He says it is unacceptable for the ruling party to continue disrespecting all measures put in place by the Ministry of Health that large gatherings should be at least about 50 people. Mr. Nyarinda has since called on all political parties to be innovative and listen to the guidelines outlined by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
By the ECZ on all political parties to be innovative with regards to how they would engage the electorate, especially getting into the campaigns, is actually very timely. We appreciate and respect what the ECZ has said, that political parties must be innovative, especially in the era of COVID. However, we want to point this out, and without any bias, without any fear or any favor, that what the ECZ is calling on political parties to do should also apply on the ruling party. There is no way the ruling party is going to go out there and meet the people in the COVID era in numbers, and we see that all these measures and guidelines are disrespected. It's uncalled for, it's unacceptable. And if the ruling party is going to take it that because they can abrogate the laws and the guidelines anytime, they must realize that they are putting the lives of the Zambians who they want to vote for them under risk. and this cannot be accepted. So the ruling party, including the leaders, the president, the vice president, and everyone, the COVID does not choose to say no. For the president, you are free. You can use the resources like what the laws said. The COVID does not choose. So whether the president is the one meeting the people will still be affected and infected in the same way. So we would like to see a situation where all the political parties and all the politicians adhere to what the ECZ has given us.
Patriotic Front National Chairman Kelvin Samba has charged that 2021 is a critical year for Zambia and the Patriotic Front Party as the nation holds the general elections in August. To this effect, Mr. Samba has called for strong collaborations among party members, urging them to send the message across as they meet the people. Mr. Samba says Lusaka has received a fair share of development like any other part of the country, hence making the work of the party members easy because government has delivered according to people's expectations. He has since donated a 10,000 kwacha to Lusaka district youths to support in their mobilization. And Mr. Samba also advised the youths to ensure that they observe the COVID-19 guidelines even as they meet the people in various communities. And PF District Vice Chairman Stephen Mwape says the funds will be used accordingly.
What will happen towards the general election? And also, we want you to make informative information to our young people on the development that your government, with His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chabalungu, has delivered to this great nation of our country. Lusaka has received a fair share from all the national developments, and it is so visible for us to see the kind of development that the PF government has brought in a short speck of time. Even if you stand in the middle of the road, you're in town center, you throw a stone, whichever direction you're going to throw, it will land on a development program that this government has successfully delivered. So that is what we should preach out there to our people. I also want to take advantage that we need also to bring to the attention of our young people to understand that the PF is not a violent party. It's a peaceful party that wants to see to it that our people, when it comes to the election period, they should move freely and happily and feel secured that it is a party that loves them and cares for its citizens. I want also our youth to be wary that COVID-19 is real. As we go out there to disseminate information, let us learn to take the conditions that our health personnel have told us strictly.
We will go around all the constituencies to go and sensitize our youths in Lusaka district.
The Opposition Movement for Democratic Change, MDC Vice President for Politics, Leonard Hikaumba, says the party has received the death of former Mines and Workers Union of Zambia President Timothy Walamba with great shock and sadness. Mr. Hikaumba has described Mr. Walamba as an epitome of union politics during the critical period of one-party state when he served diligently as MO's president. Mr. Walamba championed for good work conditions of service that prevailed at the time, thereby making the mining sector a place where everyone would want to work. Mr. Hikaumba says it is the ambition of the MDC party to provide quality work environment for all workers, and this is the reason why they mourn the patriot like Mr. Walamba. After his retirement, Mr. Walamba participated in the governance of this country, which saw him go to serve as Zambia's High Commissioner to Ghana until he was recalled. Mr. Walamba also served as MCC in UNIP. He will be remembered and honored by current crop of labor leaders adopting his combatant style while ensuring his high productivity for national development. On that note, we take a break. Stay with us for more interesting stories.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
We all miss the days we would play outside, go to school, and visit fun places. But now, we all have to take care to prevent the coronavirus. Viruses are really tiny particles that we can't see with just our eyes, so we need to keep ourselves safe by practicing good hygiene, such as washing our hands with soap and clean water regularly. We can also use hand sanitizer to keep our hands clean. It's also important for us to keep our bodies and surroundings clean. We must also avoid handshakes, hugs, and standing close to other people in public places. This is called social distancing. The coronavirus has affected millions of people around the world, so we need to stay safe. In the meantime, we can keep ourselves busy by reading a book, watching TV, and doing some schoolwork. There's so much we can do indoors. Stay safe, stay home, and prevent COVID-19. We're all in this together.
This advert is sponsored by the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
Msika, allowing your business to grow.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying on. Concerned Citizens for Justice and Human Rights has expressed concern over the increased number of divorce cases the country is recording. Organization Operations Manager Frederick Liteta says government should consider incorporating family affairs in the Ministry of Guidance and Religious Affairs to help couples seek essential assistance. Mr. Liteta explains that the increase in number of divorce cases is also contributing to the alarming numbers of street children. On Friday, Justice Minister Given Lubinda told Parliament that Zambia had recorded a total of 62,798 divorce cases between 2016 and 2019.
Until death do us apart, a vow that both men and women make when they are being declared husband and wife. This vow symbolizes that no matter what comes across the couple, they will persevere as a unit. However, statistics have continued to reveal that Zambia keeps recording a high number of divorce cases, something that has left the Concerned Citizens for Justice and Human Rights described as a serious concern that needs urgent attention. To them, this act contributes to the increased number of street children in Lusaka and across the country.
We are against the issue of divorce cases, which has been so high, more especially 2020, the past year. Even now, I don't feel good when I hear that somebody who has been married for 16 years, they've divorced now. There ought to be some ways. I urge the church to move in. I always say that God hates divorce. So let's get back to the root by going to church. The church elders, the church should have a hand in this matter so that we reduce the number of divorces. Almost 600. No, that is not good. People need to be cancelled.
Marriage is a product. It's not just an issue.
The country had recorded a high number of divorce cases.
The total number of divorce petitions granted from 2016 to 2019 were as follows. A. High Court, 2016, 361. Local Court, 18,417. 2017, High Court, 344. Local Court, 13,900. 2018, High Court, 287. Local Court, 16,751. 2019, High Court, 307. Local Court, 12,431. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, Mr. Liteta has called on government to delay further the opening of schools, looking at the continued surge of COVID-19 cases in the country. Mr. Liteta explains that some schools in shanty compounds, especially Kanyama, have not been disinfected, hence subjecting learners to high health risk. He reiterates that the move to open schools is a commendable idea, but not for some schools. He adds that government needs to do more sensitization in schools, especially those in shanty compounds.
I give hands to the head of state to say that the schools are going to open on 1st of February, on Monday. Let's hope all is set. But we are very much certain because there hasn't been much sensitization to our children and the parents as well. Being a parent, we need to sensitize our children to see to it that are they observing the same rules and guidelines before they go to school. Now they are going to school. How are the schools? How is the place? We need to make sure that the people who are in front, more especially the permanent secretary of Ministry of Education and the other stakeholders, should get on the ground to see to it that things are well. We have very few firefighters engine to disinfect the same schools. I don't know how many schools have been done. What of the far-fetched areas beyond Lusaka? What is happening? If things are not in a proper way, we need some time. We are not on rush, but this wave, the new wave, has claimed a lot of lives. We are looking at the lives that have been lost. As human rights, we are just saying, yes, we are not against that, but we need to find some better ways so that we protect
Schools in Solwezi district of Northwestern Province this week held a preparatory meeting prior to the reopening of schools on Monday, 1st of February 2021. The meeting was aimed at checking the preparedness of schools with regards to observance of the COVID-19 prevention guidelines. Kima Salazon in Solwezi district started preparatory meetings and is confident of opening schools on Monday, adding that all requirements have been put in place despite a few shortfalls. Zone Representative Joey Kiakota says the preparedness meeting has helped the teachers to up their game in ensuring that pupils return to school in a safe zone. Other participants have described the COVID-19 as a circumstantial burden that needs concerted efforts to overcome, especially in schools. The government is therefore being called upon through the Ministry of General Education to aid schools that are still failing to meet the requirements, which include that all schools should have hand washing basins with soaps or hand sanitizer and pupils be masked up.
As a zone, today on the 28th, and we have looked at all what we planned as a zone to prepare ourselves for the coronavirus before schools open. So far, we have actually looked at various issues ranging from preparation of buckets, cleaning of the schools, and looking at the materials that are required to be used. And so far the attendance was very good. Despite a short notice, about 13 schools were represented.
COVID-19, as we are all aware, is an additional and circumstantial responsibility on schools, headmasters, mistresses, and teachers. My concern, therefore, is how the Ministry of Education and government in general is assisting schools to beef up on their economic, to give economic support to help them meet this burden. That's not good. Meet this burden. So they will need some additional support from government through the DEPS, provincial offices, so that they are helped, because on their own they cannot afford to attend to the prevention and control of COVID-19.
In a related development, the National Action for Quality Education in Zambia and Central Province is appealing to business communities in the province and the country at large to get together and complement the government's effort in the fight against the spread of COVID-19 in schools. NACE's Central Province Secretary Justin Kabongo says an independent monitoring of schools was determined that their preparedness for opening schools are not fully up to standard. Mr. Kabongo says this is a danger to teachers and learners. Mr. Kabongo has since made a passionate appeal to local councils in the province and across the country to help in fumigating and disinfecting classrooms and schools. Meanwhile, Mr. Kabongo has also appealed to the Ministry of General Education to suspend the 8-hour working policy, adding that this will help decongest staff rooms and help in preventing the contraction and spread of the novel virus. You're watching Camnet News. Just now we take another set of commercials. Join me shortly for international and sports news.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Lamwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me. Yes! I already know the secrets. Oracle Pure Glycerin!
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
To create a positive difference in people's lives, one must first understand the way people live. At Savenda, we're here for our community, our partners, and our future, as a nation and as a continent.
Back in 1997, we decided we were going to create this family journey into a bigger opportunity, and created a business called Savenda, which meant Save Nations to Develop Africa.
It's always important to give back to the people. The government cannot do everything, but as business entities, we'll be able to reach a lot of people.
From our humble beginnings in the telecoms and mining sectors to our work in energy and development projects, we know how important it is to be true to our roots.
Our services have to be diversified so that we don't depend on one income stream. Back in the village, I was growing up hunting and doing everything that a village boy would like to do. When you're hunting, you don't depend on one trap, for example. You have to have many traps. So those survival skills brought into the business created opportunities that we learned from a young age that you can't survive with just one product. Savenda Group involves Savenda Management, which is a consulting, Savenda Express, which is a corporate branding company, Savenda Electric, which is a manufacturer of energy-saving bulbs, Savenda General Insurance, which is a general insurance company, Savenda Fresh Produce, Cyber Africa, which is a center for just dealing with cybersecurity.
Now, Savenda is combining local knowledge with international expertise. It's time to be a part of Zambia's rising success and Africa's exciting future.
We are a gateway into Africa, and now we are praying with global companies who are coming to Zambia for opportunities and look for companies that are homegrown, and we are proud to be one of those.
"2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house. For hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television for non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage. Zambia needs Camnet television for national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia. Watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV, and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
We now look at international news. For more than half a century, the practice of gas flaring, the burning of gas produced as a byproduct of oil extraction, has affected the lives of thousands in Nigeria. Now the government wants to pass a bill to tackle the issue and raise new revenue from the wasted natural gas. In other news, in Chile, where they are now utilizing its copper industry in the fight against COVID-19 as the world struggles to deal with a new wave of infections. The country has a large number of products on the market made of copper, which some can say provide protection. But there is a question as to how effective this is. Let's find out more how effective it is.
They say necessity is the mother of invention. And nowadays, nothing seems more necessary than finding novel ways to combat COVID-19. One option being applauded by Chile's government is a formula that uses copper to destroy the virus.
I congratulate you for sanitizing your 331 stores with nano copper particles. This is a major step in protecting staff and customers.
The strong antimicrobial properties of copper, which can destroy viruses, bacteria and fungus, are well known, especially here in Chile, the world's #1 copper producer. A firm called the Copper Company has been developing copper-impregnated textiles for the last 7 years. In its Santiago factory, copper ion threads are woven into the fabric. But how effective is copper specifically against COVID-19?
The analysis conducted by the Immunology Laboratory of the University of Bern in Switzerland demonstrates that 5 minutes after coming in contact with the fabric, 84.8% of the virus is eliminated, and after 2 hours, 95%.
According to the study commissioned by the company, copper ions destroy the membrane of the virus, thereby neutralizing it.
The copper is integrated into our different products. We've developed a line that includes face masks, sheets for hospital beds, scrubs for medical staff, towels, travel kits, as well as covers for taxi seats to prevent infections.
But there are still some questions about the overall efficacy of copper-infused products, such as this face mask. Some scientists argue that while laboratory findings are very promising, it may be less so out here on the street or in hospitals.
We need more information to see how it works in real life before we can recommend it broadly. But it's a very interesting and really at its root, very simple idea.
Like almost everything related to the novel virus, nothing is yet certain. Yet the bet is that these golden threads of copper could provide a welcome additional layer of protection.
The Idu-Obosiku community has been living in the shadows of 3 gas flare points since 1970. People here say the flares damaged their lives and livelihoods.
The suits everywhere. Our roofs don't last. Our crops cannot germinate properly. No good water. The aquatic life have moved because of the pipe crossing the river. For us to get fish now, we have to paddle more than 10 miles.
He says compensation paid to some has done little to ease their pain. And they aren't alone. Fires like these burn throughout Nigeria's oil-rich delta. Oil companies still find it more convenient to burn away the gas, even though it could be used to generate electricity.
An estimated 23 million cubic meters of gas is being flared every day from 174 points like this, costing Nigeria about $1 billion annually. The government says it's a waste, and if stopped, could add 3,000 megawatts of electricity in a country that is struggling to generate 4,000 megawatts.
Because of the difficulty in enforcing a total ban, in 2019, Nigeria launched an ambitious project to increase domestic use of gas and export. This, it hopes, will cut the waste and save lives and the environment.
The fact that it is environmentally friendly, it is cheaper, it also enables quick industrialization and growth. And we didn't do this over the long period of time. It's an issue, but we can't continue to lament, and that's why this project will do 2 things. One is to deliver on previous attempts to have a trans-African gas pipeline, which will deliver gas through the Mediterranean into Europe, and also to deepen the gas consumption within our country.
In boosting domestic consumption, government is also promoting the use of compressed natural gas in vehicles. But the most effort is to see a drastic reduction in gas flaring.
We're actually giving out those flares to people to manage, and we believe that we will be able to take care of all the gas flares within the next few years. You identify the gas flare you are interested in, you bid for it, and if you win, we give it to you, so you can now make your investment and commercialize the gas and harness that gas that was being flared, and then of course bring some value to the economy.
The government is hoping that the petroleum industry bill in Parliament for 20 years will soon pass and attract more investments in oil and gas. Officials say that will further boost gas utilization and help minimize flaring. Until then, communities like Idu-Obosiku may have to live with the damage caused by the gas flares blazing at their doorsteps.
One interesting item that has come out from this is fighting COVID-19 using copper. I'm particularly interested in that. I hope you are as well. Let's go straight into sports news. In sports news, Man City has beaten Sheffield by 1-0 in a match just ended an hour ago. Man City were predictably dominant on the ball, but this was tough assignment for Pep Guardiola's side against the Blades team, who conceded an awful early goal scored by Gabriel Jesus. Let's look at the highlights.
Sheffield United have in the pace of Burke. Bernardo Silva, this tricky feet of his. Fernandinho, Jesus wanted it, he's got it now.
There's certainly one thing that do, is that running behind again. Zinchenko covers it.
This sort of moment here, Fleck, the cross out. To him is Bogle, but he's turned away from him beautifully. Lovely play, Jesus! That is a fantastic goal from Manchester City. Most of the work done by Ferran Torres. Beautiful work from the Spaniard, and an easy finish in the end for Gabriel Jesus. Some goal created by the citizens.
Well, amazing. It's a really good ball in behind. It's really nicely.
But that's where we wrap it up. But before we go, let's just look at the headlines once again. Mount Makulu residents in Chilanga district describe their houses as death traps. Zambia's 4 years record of 62,798 divorce cases worry a local NGO. And ZRA intercepts smuggled goods worth over 1.4 million kwacha. In international news, Chile uses copper to fight coronavirus. And in sports news, Man City beats Sheffield United by 1-0. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, and it's coming from HOSEA 6 verse 1, and it reads, "Come, let us return to the Lord, for he has torn us and he will heal us. He has wounded us and he will bind up our wounds." Thank you so much for joining us tonight on our news desk. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. Remember to always observe the COVID-19 health guidelines and stop the spread of the virus. Good night.